here with Katrina Law, actor, singer, dancer, ninja. What can't you do?
Cook.
Fair enough. Does Keith cook?
No. He thinks he can, but he can't.
Okay.
But I lie to him and say he's an amazing cook. Amazing.
I fell in love with you in Spartacus, Blood and Sand. And I wanted to know if there was any challenges. I think you answered in the panel that we filmed yesterday as far as the just grueling physical aspect of it. Were there any other challenges that just that you were blown away by?
I remember there's this challenge when Andy Whitfield and we had pretty much met the day before, and we were told that our first scene together was our little romantic scene. So, of course, you're like, oh, hi, my name is, and, oh, hello. So there was that. And I was so nervous that I was in my trailer, and I was practically dry heaving because I'm like, oh, my God, I have to do this romantic scene. I'm so nervous. And I'm like, ugh. So the hair and makeup, they ended up giving me a shot, which we don't tell anybody, but they ended up giving me a shot.
Understand.
And then I called up my fiance at the time, and I'm like, babe, I'm so nervous, I don't know what to do. And he was just like, you better make it look good or you're gonna get fired, so you think of me the entire time. And I'm like, okay. So then I get on set, and Andy and I are facing each other, and Andy was great, and because by that point he'd already made out with pretty much every woman on set for the camera. So he was like, yeah, this is fine, we're good. So we're face to face, and all of a sudden, in the middle of this really intimate scene where we're supposed to be talking and then eventually we make out, we hear this and we're looking at each other, and he's like, I think that was my stomach. And he was so hungry that we had to stop production, feed him to make his stomach stop growling. And then we go back to filming, we're like, oh, that was kind of funny. And then all of a sudden we hear because my stomach was growling. So it was this whole fiasco about trying to feed the actors so our stomachs would shut up so we can actually get the scene filmed. It was an amazing icebreaker, because after that we were like, yeah, we can do whatever we want now, because that was humiliating.
I talked to your husband earlier, Keith, and I asked him if you guys choose roles now that you're married versus before, and if it was uncomfortable or anything like that. I know his answer. What's yours?
The great thing about marrying a fellow artist and someone who's in the industry is they understand what it takes to put yourself out there. And I think the only restriction that we have is, or at least that I have, is I know a lot of times for my jobs I travel abroad and I'm away from home, and if there isn't a way to get back, we have a 3-week time limit to ensure that our relationship stays first and focused. So it's making sure that within 3 weeks we can see each other. So that's my only restriction. Okay. But other than that, pretty much anything that I wouldn't do, he doesn't want me to do either, and vice versa. So it's not necessarily him telling me, no, you can't do it. I just wouldn't do it anyway, and vice versa.
That's great.
Yeah.
You love being Nissa.
I love being Nissa.
What do you love about her?
I love that her world is black and white. I love that she has such a different mentality than what I have as a normal human being, what most people have as a typical viewpoint of life and morality and right and wrong. And the great part about watching Nissa's growth is that through the Lance sisters, she's basically started learning how to be sympathetic and more open to outside thoughts and viewpoints, and her world has started having more shades of gray in it.
Definitely a complicated character. Very
complicated and so much fun to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Soundboard Fiction. Are you still doing that?
Yes, I'm still a member of Soundboard Fiction. I don't play the bass as much, but I still sing and write the lyrics. And we just finished up 3 songs, and our third album is about to come out soon, so I'm very proud of that.
I was trying to define what sound it is. It is so unique. Jazz-tastic rockabilly?
That would work.
You like that?
That would work, yeah.
You can use that.
I can. Can I put like some jazz hands in that?
You absolutely
can.
can.
One of the members, his son, joined the band, and he's a brilliant bass player. And I was like, you know what? It's just so much better when you play the bass, so why don't you do that? But since he's joined the band, we've kind of gotten a little bit more of a rocker, tiny little bit more of a rocker sound to it. So okay. I'm really proud of our new music.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's unique. It's definitely unique.
Definitely.
And it's hard to classify.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Do you have any tricks to memorizing your lines?
Well, I'm pretty good at memorizing. I feel like it's a muscle that you kind of work out, and the more you work, the easier it becomes to memorize lines. But I think the biggest trick is just knowing what you're talking about during that scene or what the purpose of the scene is, and finding a way to connect the lines, and they just kind of start flowing. Okay. But every now and then there are a couple of words where I would never use them in real life, and I have to do little things like going, okay, the 2 B's go together, and then there's an S sound, and then you, so sometimes it does come down, especially when you start getting really tired, and you've said the lines so many times that they don't even make sense in your head anymore.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've said a sentence and you're just like, did I even say the right words? Because it's an hour 12 and you've done 10 fight scenes and you're just like, oh.
Well, I didn't know you guys filmed for so long during Spartacus.
Well, yeah, I'm most sets, and it's anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day. So when people are just like, oh, it's a glamorous life, you're like, what?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
It's not.
You talked a little bit about your charity yesterday. Well, a charity that you assist with.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I help out the Ladies of Crate Crusaders. They're based out of LA, and it's a nonprofit organization that helps rescue animals from kill shelters and then getting them the medical treatment that they need and then finding them forever homes. So I help gather some celebrities who are willing to take photos with the cat in hand, and then after they pick their photo, people purchase it for about $20 and they sign it and send it out, and all proceeds go directly towards helping the animals out. And then I also volunteer at the South LA shelter. I was with the dogs, but then I realized I think I'm afraid of really big dogs because you have to go into these and you don't know where they're coming from. So I was like, let me just be with the bunnies. So I spent a lot of time with rabbits.
And they're vicious.
They are vicious. They have little back claws, and they're just like, "Rrr." But you put them down to play, and all of a sudden they try hopping and stuff. It's very cute. And then my friend TJ Scott, who I met as a director on Spartacus, and he's gone on to direct things like Gotham and some really cool shows. He has put together an In the Tub coffee table book with all proceeds going towards breast cancer research.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's good.
This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. It was great meeting you.
I wish you all the
Thank
success.
you for my little badge. I love it.
You're very welcome.